Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another SPVids video. In this video, I'm going to explain to you guys some reasons why you think your beats may suck. So this isn't me calling out your beats and saying they all suck. This is actually me trying to give you some tips and trying to get around the fact why you think your beats suck personally. So as creatives, I think we've all been there. We're all listening to our own work and thinking we don't like what we're making. So I'm going to go through these tips and hopefully these tips help you make better beats in the future. Okay, so the first reason why you may be making beats which you're not happy with, and that's due to the fact that you haven't spent enough time making beats yet. So if you're brand new to the game, you do have to really take the time to hone your craft. You do have to take the time to improve your skills, and that doesn't come overnight, unfortunately, to most people. Some of you may take to it very naturally and that's a good thing, but others, you do have to put the graft in to get good sounding beats. And I'm not talking days or weeks, I'm talking months and possibly years. So I've been sat down making beats for probably 4 to 5 years and I'm still way off the sound which I would like to be at. I'm slowly getting there, but if I listen back to the beats I made, say 1 or 2 years ago, I'm hugely impressed with my own progress. I'm really happy on that. So you do have to just keep grinding out beats, keep creating beats. And unfortunately, yeah, if you are brand new to the game and you just don't feel like your beats sound very good, just hang in there, keep making beats, and eventually they will start to sound better. Okay, so my second tip, and I think this is a really important one, is you may have not worked hard enough to make that beat sound good. So one example which I always think about when I'm making beats now is DJ Shadow. When he was making Endtroducing, he literally spent days on end hunting for samples, and there's a clip from the guy that owned the record shop who said, I only saw Shadow 3 times a day, I think he said. It was one when I opened up to let him in, one when he went to go and get a McDonald's for lunch, and then once when he was leaving. The rest of the time he was just sat in this record store just digging and digging for samples, and he ended up making one of the most iconic albums ever made purely from samples. So I'm not saying you have to go to that extreme, but obviously if you're just hammering out beats in say half an hour, 20 minutes, and then you turn around and think they don't sound that good and you're wondering why, that could be why. Just try spending a bit more time getting the chops right, choosing the right drum sounds, getting that sub hitting in the right places, and you're sure to improve your beats if you do just spend a bit more time making them sound a little bit better. Right, so my third tip, and I think this is one which beginners do struggle with quite a lot, is you've chosen the wrong samples. So choosing samples is not something that will come overnight. It's a skill and it takes time to listen for the right samples to know what's going to work well. A lot of the time what I find is with beginner beats, they choose samples which sound very empty, so they're not filling that frequency range very much, and as a result of that, the beat sounds really empty. You've got a very minimal bit of sample up here and then you've got the drum sat underneath and the thing just doesn't blend well at all. So that's something you really are just going to have to spend time doing, is digging through samples, trying different types of music, trying different genres and sampling them and see how they fit in the mix. And yeah, just look for those samples that kind of fill out the frequency range nicely. You don't want something that's very high or very low because it's not going to make a nice sounding beat at the end of it. Same goes for your drums as well. If you're not using good drum samples, good solid drum samples, they're going to make your beats sound weaker. So obviously I've got packs which are available on my website, shameless self-plug, but if you go over to spvids.com, I've got lo-fi drums and they're all ready for you to use straight away in your beats. So if you're brand new to the game and you're struggling to get drums to sound good, check out my packs and lay some of them under your beats, and I'm sure you'll see that there's a big improvement there straight away. But yeah, aside from packs, obviously you can use drum loops and you can cut your own drum loops, so just spend a bit more time focusing on that aspect of your samples as well. The drums are very important in beats because essentially that's what it is about. It's about having those hard hitting drum sounds over samples that fit well with those drums. So invest time in the samples that you're choosing to sample and invest time choosing those right drum sounds as well. Okay, so my fourth tip, and this happens with creative people all the time, you're being too critical on yourself. So give yourself a break. I find a lot of the time that when I make beats, I always instantly want to hate them, and I think it's just a natural thing that creatives have. It's very frustrating. One way I found of getting around this really easily was to record beats, leave them for say a day, 2 days, even a week, and then come back to them and listen to them. Giving your brain that space to go and process everything it's been hearing and then listen to it again, it will help massively. And also when you come back to beats as well, you do feel more of a sense of pride and think, wow, I put that beat down, that sounds half decent, I was being too critical in the moment. So that's something to consider as well. On the flip side as well, you may also convince yourself at the time that you've made an amazing beat, and then when you come back to it with some perspective, you find that it's not actually the best thing that you've made and you don't end up releasing it. So it's a useful process in a number of different ways, just giving your brain that space to process what you've made, and then you can make a much more informed decision about what you've done which is good and what you've done which is bad. But yeah, like I say, you are your own worst critic. Maybe you could also try sharing your beats with people, not releasing them officially, but sending them to a few people to listen to if they've got the time. A few people have done that with me, and unfortunately I just don't have the time at the moment with running the channel and just day-to-day living, unfortunately. But if you can find people that will give you feedback, that's also a massive way to overcome this sort of self-critical attitude, because they'll give you good pointers and they may just give you a confidence boost as well. So there you go, guys, there's some tips for you. I hope that gives you a fresh perspective on beat making, and I hope it means that you can make some better beats. Obviously, I want you to make better beats. This video isn't about me saying I've listened to your beats and they sound terrible. It's about me saying, if you're in that mindset of thinking that your beats sound really bad, then hopefully these tips can help you push through that and make better beats. So if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and a thumbs up, it really helps me as well. Leave a comment below as well if you're working on something at the moment. I'd love to hear what you guys are up to in terms of creativity. Personally, I haven't done any beat making for a little while. I've been doing stuff for the videos, but I really want to sit down and do a project at the start of 2021, so look out for that. I'll be dropping that on Spotify. And I'm going to have a brand new beat pack coming out very soon as well. I was doing some work on that yesterday and it's coming together nicely, so I'm really looking forward to getting that out. Lo-Fi Drums Volume 3, stay tuned for that. But apart from that, guys, stay safe, and I hope you're enjoying your time up to Christmas. Enjoy the festive period. I'll be back with more content soon. Peace!